The air on Thessar shimmered with a luminescent quality, the kind of light that seemed to whisper tales of ancient mysteries in languages long since forgotten. We emerged from the portal at the edge of the crystalline forest, a place where trees soared into the violet sky with a majesty reserved for the realms of myth. Their translucent forms refracted the twin moon's light into a kaleidoscope of ethereal colors that danced across the shimmering ground like ghosts of forgotten legends, each hue telling a story of its own. I had traversed many lands, walked across epochs untouched by time, yet few worlds could match the alien beauty of Thessar. This place was alive in a way that was both exhilarating and humbling, as if the planet itself was an ancient, sentient being, breathing, watching, and waiting for us to prove why we had come. We stood on bioluminescent ground that quivered and glimmered with each step, as if the earth itself was aware of our presence. The air was thick with an indefinable energy, a tingling anticipation that charged the atmosphere, elevating every sensation to a near unbearable intensity. Lyra's eyes, wide with wonder, mirrored the strangeness of this world. Her gaze flitted from one crystalline marvel to another, taking in every detail with a hunger for understanding that only youth could claim. This was her initiation into the vast and perilous tapestry of uncharted realms, and the gravity of our mission was an invisible shroud that clung to her lithe form, despite her attempts to shrug it off. "Are all worlds like this?" she asked, her voice a mere breath against the symphony of the forest, as if afraid to disturb the fragile beauty of the scene before us. There was a childlike awe in her voice, tinged with a yearning I recognized all too well, the yearning for knowledge and the thrill of discovery. "Each is unique," I replied, my voice as measured as the centuries I have borne across the endless expanse of time. "But we are not here for the scenery." My words were a tether to reality, a reminder of the duty that lived in the marrow of my bones, binding me to a purpose that transcended beauty. The dimensional tear loomed before us, a jagged crack in the fabric of reality that sizzled with an energy both terrifying and beautiful. It was an open wound in the universe, a reminder of the unfathomable forces that lay beyond our understanding. The tear pulsed with a chaotic rhythm, like the heartbeat of a dying star desperately seeking to rekindle its light. A sense of urgency throbbed in the air, an inscrutable rhythm that resonated within me, reminding me of the timeless duty I bore, the ceaseless battle between creation and oblivion. Within the tear's shimmering depths, the grotesque shadows of otherworldly entities writhed, pressing against the fragile boundary of Thessar, eager to spill into this unsuspecting world. They knew not of the Walker Order, nor the fragile threads that held their universe apart from ours. The energies that crackled around them were foreign and wild, a constant reminder of the chaos that lay just beyond the veil. "We have little time," I said, drawing the resonance fork from my weathered cloak, its ancient metal cool against my skin. I felt the hum of its power, a faint echo of the strength I once wielded without hesitation, a strength that had become more ephemeral with each passing century, as the burdens of time etched their mark upon my soul. Lyra watched with an intensity that belied her inexperience. Her eyes were pools of curiosity, reflective and questioning, seeking answers to the mysteries that surrounded us. But there would be no time for teaching. Not now, not with the forces of destruction threatening to reshape the very fabric of existence. "Stand back," I instructed, more harshly than intended, the weight of responsibility sharpening my tone. I was aware of the fragility of the moment, the tightrope we walked between salvation and catastrophe. Yet the girl was unyielding, her spirit burning with a determination that was as reckless as it was admirable. Before I could channel the energies needed to close the tear, Lyra stepped forward, her eyes fixed on the rift with a singular focus that defied understanding. She moved with a purpose I had not seen before, her hands outstretched, fingers curling toward the tear as if drawn by an unseen force, as if the universe itself whispered to her in secret tongues. "Lyra, no," I warned, but my words seemed to falter in the heavy air, swallowed by the tumult of energies that surrounded us. The ground beneath us trembled. The very forest seemed to shiver in anticipation. The crystalline trees whispered among themselves, their branches swaying to an ancient rhythm, forming a chorus of cautious foreboding. The bioluminescent glow beneath our feet intensified, responding to the dimensional disturbance with a fervor that only heightened the surreal atmosphere. I could feel the resonance building, the tear reacting to her presence in a way that defied logic. She was doing something that should have been impossible, guiding energies without training, without the right that sanctioned such a bond that should have remained dormant, untouched by human hands. I joined her, my focus split between the fork and the unsettling power emanating from Lyra. Together, we forged a bond across the breach, weaving a tapestry of light and shadow, a barrier against the encroaching darkness. The energies coursed around us, a symphony of creation and dissolution, binding us in a singular purpose that transcended our individual limits. The tear resisted, its edges crackling with defiance, spitting out fragments of ethereal light that burned like stars against the inky void. It was a battle of wills, a cosmic struggle that demanded every ounce of strength we could muster. The stakes were higher than any I had faced in centuries, a reminder of the precarious nature of our existence. But Lyra's presence was a catalyst, and I found myself adapting in ways I had long forgotten, drawing upon reserves of power that spoke of a time when I was closer to the source of all things. As the final strands of our power sealed the rift, the forest around us sighed with relief, the tension dissipating into the night like a forgotten dream. The air was still once more, the energies settling into a tenuous peace. The tear was closed, but at a cost that lay heavy upon my heart. I turned to Lyra, her face pale, a faint glow radiating from her form like the dying embers of a fire. Her vitality seemed to have been drawn into the abyss, leaving her fragile and insubstantial upon the ground. An ancient fear clawed at my heart, a fear of loss that I had thought long forgotten, buried beneath the weight of lifetimes. Then she collapsed, her body crumpling to the ground as if the life had been drawn from it. I rushed to her side, the ancient fear of loss clutching my heart in its icy grip. For long, agonizing moments, she lay still, her breath shallow but steady, a fragile thread tethering her to this world. For countless ages I had seen the frailty of life, the ephemeral nature of existence. Yet in this moment, it struck me with a clarity that pierced the veil of time. Lyra's vulnerability was a mirror to my own mortality, a reminder that even the ancient must one day succumb to the inexorable march of time. When her eyes fluttered open, they were changed, brighter, more vibrant, as if touched by the very fabric of the universe itself. They shone with a light that was at once familiar and alien, a beacon of the unknown that spoke of power, yet untapped, of potential that transcended the limits of her human form. Something was waking inside her, something beyond my understanding, a force that resonated with the echoes of creation, a force that defied the boundaries of the world we knew. In that moment, I understood that we had not emerged unscathed from our encounter with the tear. The fabric of reality had shifted, and with it, the destiny of one young soul. And in that moment, the echo of the tear lingered, a reminder of all that we had gained and lost. It was a haunting melody that resonated through the crystalline forest, a silent testament to the power we had wielded and the price we had paid. But the real question remained: what had we awakened within Lyra? What ancient power now coursed through her veins, and how would it shape the path we had yet to tread? In her I saw the future, a future that teetered on the brink of possibility, a future that held both promise and peril. Yet for now, all I could do was wait and watch and hope that the light within her would guide us through the darkness that lay ahead.